The boy cried and cried into his father's arms. 3 minutes later, he will become the famous Kangxi emperor because his father Shunzhi to become a monk.
Xuan Yue, I am a failed emperor. If you are allowed to be the emperor, you dare to do it.
Shunzhi told Xiao Xuanye to be the emperor, to endure loneliness and solitude, to cut off the warmth of the world, to beware of intrigue and trickery, to see through loyalty, treachery, good and evil, to become a lonely man.
There are so many dangers on this throne you still dare to do.
Shunzhi also told the small Xuanye Qing Dynasty, although it looks very impressive, but even if the northern desert and the southern gate of the war, more than the capital inside and outside the kill chicken servo court, up and down the loyalty and treachery, difficult to identify the dragon chair as a mountain of fire, up never come down stink.
Emperor Yu.
The boy can blow Shunzhi stared at the small Genya dare to sit with what sit Genya stare.
Huang Ama, 6 years old on the throne now. I am 8 years old, smallpox evil. I am not afraid to do the emperor.
Shunzhi looked at his son and was happy to have a successor, but also heartbroken about the pain he would have to endure in the future, and hugged his son tightly with,
Better than me.
That is, let Xuanye's master Wei Cheng magic grass trick.
I announce to the world that since my succession, I have been devoted to Buddhism, and today, in obedience to the will of God, I have become a monk, and I have decided to transfer the throne to the third brother, Xuan Yi Tai.
Way into the devil after listening to the direct dare not write a good guy after writing this trillion book. Queen Mother Xiao Zhuang will not cut me.
If the queen can kill you, can't I kill you?
Way into the magic of pouring eyes on the stone. Can what you all bully can.
Kill, but I only have a head, cannot afford to be a royal kill twice.
Shunzhi, a seemingly hard, cannot start climbing friendship senior. Although you are Han, but I take you as a close friend. You stand my point of view to think about my 18 years as the emperor cannot just play disappearing. It always have to give the world an account of it.
You refuse to grasp Zhao, own other people grasp Zhao. I hope that this imperial edict from my loyal and close friends of the hand does not want to pretend to belong to others. You will not bear more for me.
Way into the devil, a look at the words are said on this.
In that case, I will not discuss a single word.
Shunzhi also wondered why the monk played the missing monk today, but he did not care. Must be thunderbolt on time to leave the monastery immediately. Let the little monk beside him to shave his belly. Little monk said that cannot be Buddhist rules. I have not got to shave the belly qualification card. See, little monk command does not move Shunzhi. It casually point a small eunuch. Little eunuch also scared directly. Kowtow begged to let go. Shunzhi first said, Hey, leave you guys. I still cannot be a monk copied scissors, ready to do their own hands when the Sioux spicy aunt took the initiative to take the job.
Your Majesty, I can't shave my belly, but I can shave my head.
Okay, you can mention it to me,
said Shunzhi, held up a gift from the Buddha Wang Muzipan plastic collection scissors, handed to Suma. Shunzhi is shaving, while allowing Wei Cheng Demon to write an imperial edict of guilt.
A desolate book, dynastic politics, 2 Chonghan Yi man, 3 close to the palace, people 4 in the traitor unknown, 5 ouch.
During the conversation, the close Miyato Muriosuke came back.
Where is the master monk? He was sentenced as a demon monk, and put on the woodpile and said he would be turned into ashes.
This monk went up to the woodpile hand, wringing Buddha beads mouth, chanting, Buddhist Sutra is about tonight climb in the fire stop. Shaved head of the Shunzhi emperor hurriedly came. He told the crowd, I want to become a monk is my own personal desire, and this monk has nothing to do.
If the monk is a demon monk, what am I? I am not a demon remnant?
The old monk is waiting for a word, he asked. The bold Shunzhi rhetorically asked, Your Honor, who is? Shunzhi pointed to the old monk's nose. You this bad old man does. The old monk certainly know him is to tell Shunzhi what identity you are now going to order me. If you are a Buddhist son, sorry you have no right to me to issue a call.
If you are the current emperor, that you give the holy decree of the mouth of the old line to comply with the decree immediately, the line of monks to relieve surrender.
As soon as Shunzhi saw that he could not control the old monk, he ordered Sony to release the walking monk Shun.
Please ask the emperor to decree.
Cure this all, understand to be a monk. Monk will have to be burned to save the monk will have to continue to be the emperor. You think this will be difficult to defeat me? Do I have hands and feet themselves cannot go to save the monk?
Your Majesty, please give the order.
Shunzhi had no choice but to complain to his son.
The night before, you have seen it, Flower Horse was forced to live and die, which...
At this point, the monk cried out in the flames.
Isonogorous Flynn today attained the path of our Buddha. You will inherit the monk Iber's Dharma name. Sing Chi, worship the Dharma name, ignited fire.
Somehow, just burning fire suddenly extinguished and rekindled by a few eunuchs line monk was burned. Shunzhi monk persuaded to return to the Shunzhi failed to have to fulfill their promises with.
I cannot end this matter well. Old cassock will be turned into a shovel full of pure earth.
The Buddha sent a large gold watch in the roadside green bags painted Xiao Zhuang, learned the news of Shunzhi's monkhood, also listened to Shunzhi's sinful edict, decided to add 3 more to his son. Disrespect for the ancestors and unfilial mother too spoiled concubine, then drafted an edict to the world.
I want the world to know that the Emperor Shunzhi did not become a monk at all, but the Dragon Jade returned home.
Back to heaven, Shunzhi saw his son Xuanye. One last time Xuanye reported to the master of the lineage on his new learning taught to him yesterday in a training course Unbecoming Mother Teacher.
The cat is also from the palace monk finally cultivated into the Buddha, and Dharma ancestor is also abandoned. The throne finally became a generation of Zen Buddhist heart chi master. Since you want to be a monk should be like them when the most amazing monk under the sky.
The monk answered Xuanye sincerely with his newly enlarged light head.
The poor monk remembered the teachings of the monk also has a sentence to send to the monk. If the monk becomes the emperor, should also be the most remarkable emperor in the past and present.
Remember the child?
This brief conversation became the last goodbye to the father and son, so Shunzhi really went to become a monk? This is a major unsolved case in the history of the Qing Dynasty Shunzhi, 18 years old at the beginning of the 6th month of the son of the 24-year-old Shunzhi emperor. In the Yangxin Hall collapse of the strange, is the Qing ancestral poetry record of the cause of death of Shunzhi, but only 11 words. Ding 4 leaves on the gram, collapse in the Yangxin Hall. Shunzhi's strong body, why suddenly died a violent death more than 300 years? To say that poisoning said that the disease said a wide range of opinions in the end, which statement is more credible? It is the Kangxi Dynasty, in the interpretation of the same Shunzhi, due to Dong Erfei, the death of the heartbroken, plus the early death of Shunzhi's own father Huang Taiji, when he was young. 14 Baduo rolling brick fist mother Xiao Zhuang on his lack of parental love. This living environment made Shunzhi gradually produced a psychological shadow in various blows. Shunzhi, eventually tired of the court battles, resolutely chose to become a monk. Wutai Mountain. This seems to make sense, but the emperor to become a monk in the environment at that time is afraid that it is difficult to work because there is the Empress Dowager Xiao Zhuang. In order to avoid Shunzhi to become a monk and make the Qing court was laughed at by the world, also will have poisoned, said Kangxi Dynasty. In this episode, I, Xiao Zhuang.
Is your own mother would rather you die than complain that you can't live with your ancestors? You drink it.
But bar poisoning Shunzhi, this thing, almost no historical evidence to support future generations, cannot be verified. And about Shunzhi died of illness, A said in the Qing Shizu Shilu. But there are the following records: Shunzhi 18 years early. First courtiers, an entanglement case, celebrating the pilgrimage to see the emperor, but the court suddenly ordered to be exempted from seeing early second Shunzhi feel ill. Early 6th deterioration of the disease is critically ill. Early 6th son time Shunzhi death. Of course, this is the official record, also cannot be fully credited, but Shunzhi period officials of the Ministry of Rites Wang Shi, in his own notes, autobiography chronicle, recorded the situation before the death of Shunzhi spoiled. Shunzhi said to Wang Shi, this suffering from pox potential will not be qi. Can listen to my words in detail, quickly pass the imperial edict, that on the step before writing here, pox should refer to smallpox. As for the contents of the written imperial edict, Wang Shi only wrote 4 words, refused to dare to save Shunzhi. In the end, said what content let Wang Shi are afraid to write down is unknown. Another official Zhang Chen, also in his own notes, the commentary on the spectrum of miscellaneous records of the early and the first month of the 18th year of Shunzhi, the court reputation amnesty, and do not allow the people to fry beans and lights pour garbage, and these taboos are precisely to avoid smallpox. Think about it is understandable. Crocodile fly infected with smallpox. Shunzhi, so distressed all day. Close contact with infected with smallpox is also reasonable. Plus Kangxi later took the palace maids to engage in human experimentation is likely, and Shunzhi infected with smallpox passed away. Has some relevance. Of course, the ultimate truth of history seems is an unbreakable mystery. Perhaps later there will be stronger evidence to refresh our knowledge, no matter how to say that Shunzhi, no small Kangxi to take up his challenge. We'll talk about this in the next issue. Please help me pay attention to the friends who like to forward me here first.